with Greg. It's his first interview since he's got the job. Greg, obviously you've made over 700 career appearances. You're prolific in both non-league and the Football League in your early career. You've made over, I think, 117 appearances for Rosso, 17 goals, and obviously you captained us to promotion. What does it mean to you to get the job at a club that, so close to your heart, I should say?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, Ben did a fantastic job in building the club up, and I was a big part of that, being a captain and being a leader in the dressing room. And I've witnessed firsthand, the progression the club's made on and off the pitch. And now it's up to me. I'm absolutely delighted to be able to continue that on. I understand what the club's about. I know the opportunities we've got, and the chairman and the committee want to keep progressing the club, and I've got that same ambition. And it's just fantastic to be part of such a wonderful club, a community club, and I'm really excited about what we can do going forward. I think we can achieve some fantastic things.
Yeah, management's not completely new to you. You've been assistant manager at Frickley in the past, and then obviously you've been interim for the past 5 games. So how does it differ now that you've got the job on a permanent basis compared to being in charge of the last 5 games? Just without the future being clear to you.
Yeah, it's that transition. A couple of years ago, I was at Frickley assistant manager. At the same time, I was playing. I've been fortunate at the age of 41, 42. I've been able to play for that long, but I've always wanted to get into coaching, and that's why I was at Frickley. I did my UEFA B licence 12 years ago now, so I've always been interested in coaching and the management side. And then, obviously, at Frickley, got that experience of the assistant manager side, and then more recently on the interim. It's been a really enjoyable last month, learning on the job all the time, but I feel like I've done a good job. I feel like I've got the players on side, and it's something that I've really enjoyed, and I can't wait to get my teeth into it even more as we continue the season and getting the job on a permanent basis. I know there's going to be some challenges along the way, but I'm really looking forward to those, and really looking forward to what we can achieve.
So you had 5 games in charge interim, 3 wins out of 5, 9 points out of 15. Would you just like to summarise your performance as interim manager? Did you think you'd done enough basically to get the job, sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to you after the first game, and we spoke to the lads, and after the defeat, Ben's last game defeat at Penistone, it was important that we bounced back and got 3 points, and that's what I spoke to you about after that game. It was really important we did that, and then to build on that, again, we wanted to get as many points as we can, but also it was not just about the results. I think it was about performance, it was about the players' application, that effort, that intensity. I think in that interim period, I'm a different manager to what Ben was, and the players are slightly different. I think the team has to match the manager's personality and style of playing. And yes, I played in Ben's team, it's similar, but I've got my own style. I like that intensity, that pressure, that high intensity up the game, and I tried to instill that into the players in those 5 games. I think we got that, and I think that was probably evident on Saturday. I think it was a gritty, hard-working, high-pressured, high-energy performance, as well as the results. Of course, you want to win football matches, but when you do those things, and I said to the players, you've got more chance to win the game of football, and that was really important, how the players applied themselves, and just starting to get that identity of how I want my teams to play.
Obviously, you were club captain when you were playing. We've noticed that since you've been injured and obviously been interim, Ross has took the reins as captain. Who do we expect to see coming into your backroom staff and your backroom team? Yeah,
so Ross has been a big help. So over that period of the interim, Ross was someone I was constantly on the phone to. He was one that I'd talk about team selection, talk about training, talk about potentially where we could get players in where we needed, like a keeper on Saturday. So he's someone that I really trust, and he's a valued part. He's going to be my assistant manager. With Ross, obviously he's still going to be playing. He's a big part of the playing team. We know the goals and the performance on the pitch. So I'm also going to try and build my management team up as well over these next few weeks. I think it's important we get someone else in on that bench to support me, while particularly if Ross is playing. But like I say, he's like myself. He's got contacts throughout the game in non-league. He's got that wealth of experience, as well as having big respect within the dressing room. So I think it's a really strong management team that we're starting to put together, and hopefully over the next few weeks we'll start to shape that even more. So I'm excited about what the management team can put together.
You've just said that Ross is going to be your assistant and continue playing as well. Does that mean that you've now, since you've got the job, called time in your playing career, or are you still going to turn out occasionally?
Well, you know, at that age now, 41, and obviously got the injury just before the playoffs last season, which was a bit of a blow, and that's when I started questioning whether, you know, it is time to end. You know, people say, can you play as long as you can, and I've been very, very fortunate. But I think it's a difficult job to play regularly and be manager. You know, I've been in dressing rooms where, when I was at Grimsby, there was player manager, and it can work. But I think I'd rather mainly focus on being the manager. That doesn't mean that I'm retired. I feel like I've put myself on the bench on Saturday, and I feel like if there's injuries or if I need to throw myself on, I will do. But I'm certainly not looking to be a regular player. I want to hand it over to the next generation of players now. At that point where I think it's probably about right time, and maybe peter out towards the end of the season.
So we're not going to expect a good hours at Varna.
Well, no, I'm not going to play regularly. I might throw myself on with 10 minutes to go, or if we've got injury crisis or suspension. You know, I mean, I played. You know, last year I was player of the year, managers player of the year for the last 3 years. And I'm still feel like I could still do it, but you know, I want to focus on the management side predominantly, and I think that's probably an important thing to do.
So what can fans expect from a sort of Greg Young style of team and style of play?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not fixed on a formation. I don't think that's necessarily important, because you can change that week to week. But what is important is an identity, a style of play. I want my teams, like I previously mentioned, a bit high energy. You know, I like my teams to press from the front. You know, be pragmatic as well. We know this is the NCL, and you know, if you're overplaying in certain areas, that can be dangerous, particularly in the winter months when the pitches get messy. But at the same time, I want my teams to go and be creative. You know, we've got quick attacking players, and people like Manny and Lewis who are exciting, and I want those type of players to be expressive, and I want them to go and take people on and create danger in that last final third, and try and excite teams with, we might say, with high energy, forward-thinking play. We've got the players to do that. You know, I think we think we have. So it's a balance between that attacking play and making sure we're solid. And I said that on Saturday, actually. I said we've got so many players who can be fantastic in that final third. We also need to get the balance between being pragmatic and making sure we're hard to beat. You know, myself as a defender, and that's, I suppose, the beauty of having Rosso as well. You know, he's an attacking player and see things on the attacking style. And in training he'll be picking up on that, and then I see things on defensive style and making sure we're hard to beat and solid, and that's also important. So yeah, you know, I'm excited, and I think, like I said, over the last 5 games, I think the players are starting to understand what my teams want to be about. It's that high energy, high intensity, high press, and go and express yourself in that final third and be creative.
Obviously, it's not the start of the season when you've come in it's early on, but what are your expectations, you know, for this year and just maybe for the future as well? Yeah,
you can see it's a tough league, and you can see that any team can beat any team on any given day. There's 20 really good teams in this league, and they're all trying to go for, you know, trying to be as best we can. What we've got to try and be is a little bit more consistent. So try and get some consistent results together. And you know, like I say, it isn't a full season. I've come in after a period of time, so it's about trying to improve the squad where we can. We know we've got some fantastic players, and we'll just try and achieve as high position as we possibly can, and we'll see that where it takes us. You know, there's no expectation really, you know, to go and get promoted this year. We came close last year, but it's about finishing as high up on the table as we can, get as many points as we can, game from game, keep assessing it game from game, and let's see where it takes us. You know, that's where we're going to look at.
So it's your first official game in charge with a tough test away at Fackley on Saturday, and then we're back at home next Saturday. Another tough test against Penistone, who've obviously been start the season well as well. So have you got a final sort of message to the fans, you know, to come along and sort of get behind you and the lads once again? Yeah,
it comes here fast, doesn't it? 2 really tough games. I said there's, you know, some great teams in the league, and they don't get any tougher than Penistone and Fackley this weekend. But you know, we're giving it a really good go, and like I said, we're going to try and get that brand of exciting football. It's really important we get as many people down here at Oxford Street as we can, getting that support. Yeah, I thought the atmosphere on Saturday was really, really positive. It's just about getting that backing and support from the fans, and trying to get as many people as we can into the gate and give us that support, and hopefully we can get some really good positive performances.
Awesome.
Cheers. Thank you.